everyone. This is Victoria Rutherford from Adelaide Capital. Today I'm here with Mark Binns, the CEO of BIGG Digital Assets. Mark is going to provide an update on BIGG and talk about some of the initiatives that they are working on as they continue to build out BIGG. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mark and he can walk us through the presentation, and I'll be back at the end to run through a Q&A.
Thanks, Victoria. Excited to be here today to update all of our shareholders and prospective shareholders on BIGG Digital Assets and educate everybody about what we're doing as a company, what our business is, and where we're going. With that, I'm going to jump in and share my screen. And here we go. So BIGG Digital Assets, we call ourselves Compliance First Crypto because our two primary businesses that we own and operate make money in a world of a compliant and regulated future of crypto. One is a crypto trading platform and the other is a crypto forensics business. And we'll educate everybody on those as we go. Here's our disclaimer. Please have a read of it. It's also available on our website. The company. So BIGG Digital Assets is a public company, trades on the CSE in Canada under BIGG and on the OTCQX United States under BBKCF. Run by myself, Lance Morgan, who is our president and also runs our blockchain intelligence group, and our CFO, Kim Evans. Our job is essentially to be a holding company for all of our different digital assets. You know, we're called BIGG Digital Assets for a reason. We own digital asset companies that operate in the space. And our job is to support them and make sure they're as successful as possible. In terms of that structure, we have three main companies that we operate. One's called Netcoins. That's our crypto trading platform, primarily focused on the Canadian market right now. One of the only regulated, government-endorsed crypto trading platforms in Canada. TerraZero, which is our Metaverse NFT play, run by Dan Reitzik. That company actually builds experiences in the Metaverse, and we'll talk about that one as we go. We're about a 30% owner in that business. And then Blockchain Intelligence Group is our crypto forensics business run by Lance Morgan. That company traces and tracks the movement of crypto through the blockchain. Very exciting technology, and I'm going to run you through that whole business as we go. So we're 100% owner of Netcoins and Blockchain Intelligence Group, two primary operating businesses, 1/3 owner of TerraZero. And we also have other investments. We own 575 Bitcoin of our own on our balance sheet, not counting our customer assets that we manage through Netcoins. And we also have minority investments in two other, I would call them early stage crypto companies. One's called Zen Ledger, run by Patrick Larson. That's a crypto tax company, software as a service business that helps customers figure out what taxes they owe on crypto and report them. And then Liquid, run by Sean Anstey, who is one of the original co-founders of our BIGG Digital Assets company. It's a crypto Lightning Network business. So using the Lightning Network, which is a protocol that sits on Bitcoin, to move money quickly and efficiently around the ecosystem, the crypto ecosystem. So those are our different companies. And with that, I'll jump into a little bit about why BIGG. We're diversified. That's one of the first things that everybody should know is we have three main operating businesses, both in crypto trading, crypto forensics, and the Metaverse with TerraZero. Unlike other businesses that might just be mining, they might just be trading. We have a nice diversified business that brings us revenue streams from all three. And if one sector is hotter than another, we can take advantage of that and weather the storm. And if all sectors in crypto are hot, we're getting revenues from multiple subsidiaries and businesses. We're also into what I like to think of as the bleeding edge of businesses in crypto, the Metaverse being one of them. You know, it's built on essentially smart contracts and ERC20 tokens. The Metaverse itself has its own cryptocurrencies like Mana that's used to buy and sell assets or land. And TerraZero is there developing, acquiring, and financing the most promising businesses, brands, and entrepreneurs in the space. And we'll talk about that business a little later on. We have an excellent treasury. We're funded for growth. We have between $35 and $40 million in cash and crypto in the bank and our treasury, depending on the day. As of today, Bitcoin sits between 29 and 30,000 USD. And that's what our treasury looks like. 575 Bitcoins is part of that treasury. So, you know, we believe in the future of obviously the value of Bitcoin and also the space. So we've diversified our treasury as well between cash and crypto. our businesses are agnostic to the price of crypto assets. Unlike a mining company where when crypto goes down, the value of the miner goes down, Netcoins makes money buying and selling crypto. It doesn't matter what the price of it is. Some days when you have the biggest pullbacks in Bitcoin, we see the highest trading volumes. We're certainly seeing some of that in May. Where there's been a lot of volatility in crypto, and that's good for trading businesses. Our forensics business doesn't make any difference what the price of Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum is if law enforcement is using our products to track crypto. And the Metaverse deals happen regardless. Land is being bought, land is being leased, land is being mortgaged. Brands are entering the Metaverse and building experiences. So the underlying prices are not affecting our business. We have an experienced management team. I'll walk you through them in a minute. And we have lots of catalysts coming up this year in 2022, geographical expansions, products, customer acquisition strategies. You're going to see a lot of different things coming from BIGG. So these are some of the quick hits up front on why BIGG Digital is a good investment and a good company to put your faith in. Quick trading snapshot. It's about 247 million shares outstanding. We mentioned, there's good liquidity in the stock for traders. The 30-day average volume recently is trading over 1.2 million shares. That's just in the Canadian market. There's obviously liquidity in the US market. We are on the OTCQX. They call it the OTCQX best market, I believe. And we have a significant amount of research coverage. We have 3 different companies covering us right now: FRC, PI Financial, Singular Research, and HC Wainwright, with an average price target over $2. So there's obviously very significant upside to our stock and to our company from here based on where the market can go. And with, a bit of sentiment in crypto becoming positive, there's certainly an attractive entry opportunity here. Here's our annual revenue for the last 3 years. Very significant curve. 2019, the products really just came online, started selling a little over $500,000, jumped up about 5x in 2020 to 2.5 million, and then grew to 5.5x that again in 2021 to 14 million. We just finished reporting less than 2 weeks ago our audited 2021 financial statements. You can find those on CDAR and have a full read, but the revenue is just a little over 14 million, around 14.1 million. Here's the team. So myself, my whole background is really working in sales and marketing and helping companies find product market fit and then scaling those businesses. And that's what we've done here at BIGG. We started out with products that were ideas. Blockchain Intelligence Group had ideas a few years back of tracking crypto on the blockchain. Netcoins was originally, thought of as a way to make Bitcoin ATM software. And then we morphed it into a crypto exchange. And then one of the first ever registered crypto exchanges in the country. And then we have invested in those businesses, added customers, and added revenue. So that's what my background has been. We're doing a great job of it here at BIGG as a team, and I'm really excited about it. Kim Evans is our CFO, fantastic public markets CFO, significant experience and great cross-border experience being listed in Canada and the US. Kim's able to manage the multiple exchanges, the multiple jurisdictions, and keep us growing. Lance is the president of the Blockchain Intelligence Group unit, and co-founder of the business overall here. And he, I like to say, has forgotten more about crypto than I'll ever know. He's an expert in the industry, in the blockchain, and that's how he can build a company from scratch that is used by companies all over the world, including the U.S. Secret Service, to track movements to stop crime from happening in crypto. And then finally, we have a new president joining us right now for Netcoins. His name is Fraser Matthews. His whole background is building financial services companies. He's built challenger banks around the world, and he has very specific, deep knowledge about development teams and how to scale products. And with him joining the team, Netcoins is in great shape for the next leg up of its journey. All right, Netcoins. So Netcoins specifically, crypto trading platform. We're one of the, I believe there's 5 now registered platforms in Canada under CTPs. They call them crypto trading platforms, where a customer, a retailer, a customer, or an institutional investor can come buy and sell crypto. We're really unique because we have great education. We're an excellent place for someone to come who doesn't necessarily know a ton about crypto, or maybe is just entering the space, and have a very easy to use and understand interface. We look at some other competitors in the market. People lose their own crypto inside of the apps. They can't even figure out what's going on. But we have an easy to use, easy to understand product. We have a great education center. We actually have a Netcoins Academy to teach people about crypto and the different currencies that we carry. We have amazing live support. We have phone support, email support, text support, live chat on the platform. You can get in touch with someone quickly and easily, and they'll help you either get into crypto or answer your questions. So, and we also have a very competitive product in terms of pricing, in terms of coin offerings, and registered. So when we say registered, we have a restricted broker dealer license from the CSA, the Canadian Securities Administration, which is the Canadian equivalent of the SEC, which gives us positive tailwinds. The competitive set in Canada, where we compete right now with this product, is shrinking. Global players like Binance are getting pushed out because they're not regulated by regulators. And there's consolidation happening in the space, and companies leaving the space because they can't get through regulation and deal with all of the requirements. So the pie continues to grow for trading in general. New people are entering the market, and the competitive set that we compete against shrinks. So I'm really happy with where we sit in this space. And that can be seen in our annual and quarterly revenues. You look back at 2019, 2020, 2021, these are Netcoins specific revenue metrics in terms of growth. And on a quarterly basis, we have been seeing quarterly growth in transactions, users, revenues in 40%, 50% over quarter, 250% year over year. Q1 that just finished is definitely softer across the entire industry, and we'll report those numbers in the next couple of weeks. But we're already seeing in Q2 in May with volatility, a real return to trading out there with retail investors and institutions. So volumes will go up and down, but the company continues to grow and push ahead. We do a ton of advertising. If you're in Canada, you probably know the Netcoins name. You would have seen it on TV and live sports, newspaper, out of home, celebrity endorsements. It's a great brand that has significant brand equity now. And when we ask people, why do you come to us? One of the biggest reasons is referrals, because they have someone else who's a friend or family member using the platform. And they said, it works really well. It's efficient. I can deposit money in a matter of minutes. I can withdraw quickly. And it just does the job for them. So on top of us getting out there and getting a name out, the brand has great weight, and we have a great customer base. We're also have recently launched Netcoins Pay. So this is a Visa credit card that's hooked up to your Netcoins account, and it provides rewards. There's a 3% Bitcoin back reward attached to it that scales down to 1% over volume. But what we love about it is it allows our customer base to have one more access point to Netcoins. It gives them a reason to go in, look at their balance inside of Netcoins, look at their crypto, decide if they're going to trade, but then also use their balance and their fiat balance to actually purchase regular goods, whether it's at the grocery store or Canadian Tire or wherever they want to go. It makes our platform stickier and provides more services to our existing and prospective customer base. And we get a lot of positive feedback on it. On the other side, Blockchain Intelligence Group, this is our crypto forensics business. So this is a software company, software as a service, that we provide software to law enforcement around the world. And this is everything from governments and government agencies to police departments, the financial crime units of different police departments, like the Hong Kong Police Department, as an example. There's two main products. The one I'm going to focus on right now is QLUE. So QLUE tracks the movement of crypto through major blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, et cetera. I believe we have 9 different blockchains that we support right now. We're adding a couple more very shortly, probably within the next week here. And we actually have attributions on the blockchain. So what this tool does is it's de-anonymized the blockchain. The blockchain's always been there since crypto was created, but you could look at it and you might just see an address and you don't know anything about it. QLUE actually takes that address and it can tell you that that's a Kraken hot wallet, or that's a Coinbase cold storage wallet, or that's a Mixer or Tumblr for crypto. And this image on the left, you're not going to be able to read it, and that's okay, but you can see arrows moving between boxes and circles. And that is our product, visualizing the movement of crypto through the blockchain. And it will have these attributions, of which we have 3.5 billion risk scores and attributions on different addresses across these blockchains. And it creates information. So if someone stole your Bitcoin and you reported to the police, they could log into QLUE and they could see that Bitcoin move through the blockchain. And they could say, it went around the world 3 times, it went through 32 wallets, and it landed in this wallet. And QLUE will tell them that that wallet is at Coinbase, right? Or it is at Kraken, or it is at, OceanX, wherever it is. And then law enforcement can actually send a subpoena to the exchange and say, freeze those coins. We believe the proceeds of crime. They could take it to court. They can seize and try to get the coins back. QLUE has been used in court many times to present expert evidence on cases involving cryptocurrency. And it's not just theft. It could be anything from weapons purchases to drug purchases, child pornography. I mean, you name it, money laundering, all the bad things that happen in the world have been happening forever with fiat currency. But now with the invention of crypto, unfortunately, crime is happening in crypto. And we provide one of the only tools in the world that lets law enforcement actually understand what's going on and investigate and bring these criminals to justice. We also offer training. So this is a paid course. It's an 8-hour online course called a Certified Cryptocurrency Investigator. It's like getting your CA in accounting, but you get it in crypto investigation. And for us, we've given it to everyone from government agencies to banks, even to universities that are teaching it to students all around the world. And for us, it's a small revenue stream, but it's a very significant, what I call paid marketing, is during that training, we're teaching them how to use QLUE and we're showing them how to do investigations on our tools. And at the end of the day, that's what they know. Those are the products that they'll seek to buy and bring back to their organization. So it's like a lead funnel for us, but we're also doing, some good in the world and educating people on crypto and how to investigate crime so it can be stopped. But it leads right into our products. And the other thing to point out here that we love about this space is it's growing really quickly now in general, just because crypto is becoming more and more mainstream, right? So therefore, it's more and more involved, unfortunately, in the crimes that happen in mainstream. And law enforcement needs tools. And there's only 5 legitimate ones in the world that actually do this, with QLUE being one of them. The other ones are TRM, Chainalysis, Elliptic, and CipherTrace. And a couple of points on those. CipherTrace was just recently bought by MasterCard for a significant valuation that's probably worth more than the entire valuation of BIGG Digital Assets, showing that, again, MasterCard could have made their own tool, but it's easier for them to actually buy one because it's taken us 6 or 7 years to build QLUE, $25 million plus worth of investment probably in the product. And we have 3.5 billion data points. At this point, there's very high barriers to entry for anyone new coming into the market. And anyone that wants to own one of these businesses, it's probably much easier to buy it than to build it. And the valuations are significant. Chainalysis, which is probably the biggest player in the market, has gone through multiple private raises. They're a private company, but the last one valued them at $8.4 billion as recently as the last month. So, small competitive set. QLUE is in competitive pitches beside these companies on a regular basis, week after week, and a big growing market. So that's the kind of place you want to be with your business. And then TerraZero. So this is recently invested in business to round out our portfolio and add in a Metaverse play. Again, we own about 30% of this company. The Metaverse is really a network of 3D worlds designed to foster social interaction. I mean, you can think of it as a city or a park or a playground online. And what's really happening here is what was happening in 1997 in the internet. Brands are showing up and realizing, like they did in 1997, they need a strategy. Originally then it was, we need an internet strategy. We need to figure out how to get a website. We need to get online. The world is moving this way. The same thing is happening in the metaverse. Brands are showing up now in droves, all the major brands saying, how do we have a presence in the metaverse? And there's different metaverses, but a couple of the big ones are Decentraland and the Sandbox. TerraZero is a landowner in both of these and other metaverses where they acquire land. They will lease that land out to brands who want to set up stores, and they have a studio so they can build those experiences for brands. Here's the business units. They have virtual real estate. They're buying real estate in the metaverse, which they believe and we believe will have significantly higher value in the future. They're actually me just shrink my video here. So I see they have a development studio. This is a huge revenue generator as brands come in and say, I want an experience, but they don't know how to build it. These guys, I'll show you in a minute, built the Miller Lite experience and the Miller Lite bar for Super Bowl, just as one example. And then, charge them a fee, obviously, for do that and generated revenue. And that bar was also put up temporarily on land owned by TerraZero. So there's a land lease fee. They have infrastructure to do things like hosting these experiences. They also can put on events and marketing. One really easy one to think about is concerts. We say things like, if Eminem does a concert in the biggest stadium in the world, maybe he sells out 100,000 seats or 120,000 seats. If he does one in the Metaverse, he could sell 3 million tickets. There's no limit. And TerraZero is involved in setting up, whether it's shows, festivals, promotions, advertising for brands that can access really large audiences. And they also have predictive analytics. So think about AdWords, right? So you want to advertise on the internet, you set up an account with Google. One of the things that they have for you is information on which keywords can target which people, how they're priced, how to compete. In a similar way, TerraZero is building an analytics engine to understand the metaverse for brands and understand, maybe it's where there's value in land versus where there's not, where there's traffic inside of different worlds that you'd want to set up your messages or your brand store. They're building a whole business around predictive analytics for the metaverse, which is really exciting, really bleeding edge. And, we're excited to be part of it. Different revenue streams. I sort of talked about this, everything from land purchasing and reselling, leasing, virtual asset designs, building anything from, wearables like shoes and shirts for avatars to complete buildings. They can broker land. Predictive analytics are going to be selling data. They can host events. And here's the Miller Lite bar that was running for Miller Lite during the Super Bowl that was built by TerraZero. Very cool experience. It was actually the top property on Decentraland during that period of time. Our minority investments, just quickly, I already talked about them. One of the great things about having minority investments is you can access those investors in those businesses. Zen Ledger, Mark Cuban's one of the big investors. When Zen Ledger talks about who their investors are, they talk about BIGG, and our name gets put in front of a wider range of potential investors in BIGG Digital Assets. The same with Lightning, or Liquid, I should say, on the Lightning Network. Sean, when he does presentations like this, he'll talk about BIGG being an investor in their business, and we get a broader exposure. We also fundamentally believe both these businesses are great businesses that are growing and part of the future of the crypto ecosystem. A little bit about the future. We're going to continue to look at asset investments outside of what we already own. It could be different companies. It could be different digital assets. We believe that the market is going to continue to consolidate. Its early stages, and where we see strategic opportunities, we'll take them. We would like to uplist on the Canadian market to the TSX this year. It will depend on market conditions. Obviously, the market has been tougher the last couple of months, but if the market can stabilize and conditions are good, we're putting in the groundwork to do that. And that is including everything like filing our AIFs and quarterly financials and having ongoing conversations, which we've had for the last few months with the TSX to see when it makes sense to create the most value for our shareholders. We're certainly focusing on adding institutional investors. We have presentations this month alone with 3 different groups, 3 different, conferences that have a wide range of institutional investors coming to hear our story. Netcoins continued expansion for both products, and geographically, we're intending to enter the US in 2022. And we're going to be adding more digital assets to the product in Canada first, to make sure it's going to be properly competitive, but it's a nice big market. Even California and Texas, where we intend to launch first, are each, roughly the size of Canada. So great growth opportunity, in that business. And product expansions. We talked about Netcoins Pay, our credit card. We're working to set up software as a service offerings with other financial institutions that want to offer access to crypto trading for Netcoins. We're building out the APIs and building the relationships, and it could be a tremendous growth opportunity for us. And on the blockchain intelligence group side, I mentioned this earlier, but they're going to continue to add a variety of blockchains, making the product even more valuable to its user base as they can track more blockchains where crypto is moving and crime may be occurring. And there's also a significant push on sales and marketing with that organization. They recently launched or hired new directors of sales in different regions, like the Asia Pac region, for example, to get the name out there and get the brand out there. And Blockchain Intelligence Group and QLUE have a significant, they call it share of voice in the market. When people talk about forensics, we get calls, we get interviewed, we get put in articles. And again, that's because of our leading expertise in the space. And that creates more exposure for us, for customers to find out about us and give us a call. And that's the end of the formal deck. Contact information is there, mark@bigdigitalassets.com. You can also email ir@bigdigitalassets.com, and Victoria or myself will get back to you. But now we'll jump into some questions.
Yeah, thanks so much for the presentation. It's always, really exciting to hear the big story. I just had a few questions I wanted to run through. The first being, what do you see as the real strength of BIGG?
Yeah, diversification. That's a great question. We have a wide range of businesses and assets. So we have, under our own umbrella, we have crypto trading with Netcoins. We have crypto forensics with Blockchain Intelligence Group. And then we got access to the Metaverse business and opportunity with TerraZero. We also own our own Bitcoin on the balance sheet, 575 Bitcoin, and we have minority investments in different businesses. So we have a diverse revenue stream. I should say we will be including revenue from TerraZero going forward now in our financials because of our significant stake in them. But it allows our company to weather the storms when there are storms out there in the financial markets, and also take advantage of the bull markets when they happen by having a wide range of businesses and revenue streams.
No, that's great. And then just moving on to Netcoins really quickly. So first of all, congrats on the new hire. So I know that it took you guys a long time to fill that seat as the new CEO and to bring in Fraser. So what was it about him that gave you guys the confidence that he was the guy to go forward and run Netcoins?
Yeah, great question. We did take a while. The seat was vacant for a while, and I've been acting as CEO of Netcoins. I was originally the CEO of Netcoins, so it was easy to do, but a lot of work. And we wanted the right person, not just the right now person. So I had a lot of people reach out. We did a lot of looking, but we met Fraser, and within 2 hours, 2 different meetings, I knew he was the guy. He has significant experience building financial products and consumer-based financial products. He's put together what they call challenger banks, which are banks that go out and try to compete with the established banks, the larger banks, as startups. And to do that, there's a tremendous amount of product development and obviously sales and marketing know-how. But one of the things that I love about Fraser coming in here is he knows how to build out products, and you're going to win on your products eventually in these spaces. You got to market it, right? Get it out there. People need to hear about it, but they'll stay because it works. It works well for them. And Netcoins is expanding a lot right now. We're going to have somewhere between 5 and 10 new coins again launched in the next couple of weeks is the plan. That's a lot of infrastructure and a lot that has to be done as we expand into new markets. We need different infrastructure to support those markets. So Fraser's done this. He understands the bits and bytes and bolts, I guess you'd say, of development and managing development teams and large development teams. So bringing him in now, right, is the perfect timing with Netcoins where it is. And I'm already very excited to have him joining us. Well,
once he's up and running, we're going to have to get him on one of these videos.
We are. We're going to have Fraser and I do some meetings with you, and I'm going to take him out and introduce him to the world. He's keen to do that as well.
Yeah, that's great. Keeping along the Netcoins line, what do your average customers look like at Netcoins, and what are some of the strategies that you guys are employing to increase the stickiness of those customers?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty heavily retail, and it's people that are buying, whether it's their first $50 or their first $500, and then they'll often grow and buy $5,000. And, that could be it for some of them. And some will buy $20,000 and $25,000 worth of crypto. We have a lot of customers that, buy regularly. They buy every week or every couple of weeks when they get paid. They put some money in Netcoins and they buy crypto, which is fantastic. We're certainly seeing right now in May, a switch from buying to selling, right? So the crypto prices have been under pressure. So some people are deciding it's the time to exit the market and they sell, and that's okay. That's trading revenue and fees for us. And, when the pullback either stops or goes down further, they'll buy back in. So that is sort of who the customer is. The stickiness part is education. So we're offering, the Crypto Academy, really valuable to new investors that are trying to understand the space and what it's all about. We have the Netcoins Pay card, which gives our customers the ability to spend through their Netcoins account when they're doing daily purchases or out around town, and it brings them back into Netcoins to look at their rewards and they're earning Bitcoin. Those are some of the big, I guess, stickiness and really communication. I mean, we're very on top of letting our customers know when the market's pulled back or big changes in prices and assets, or what could be perceived as opportunities, or if they decide a big drop in crypto means they need to sell. We're keeping them informed. So those are all the things that we're doing to create stickiness in the platform, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. And I guess too, with, it being crypto being a newer market for a lot of people that are starting to get involved, having that education component and a really strong customer service makes a huge difference for people. I mean, this is their money that they're investing. So it's nice to have a bit of that hand holding at times.
Yeah, absolutely. And we get tremendous feedback on our customer support and how useful and helpful they are to people. And, other platforms we've heard, it can take weeks and no one will ever get back to you. So we're there for our customers and, keep them moving in whatever direction they want to move in, but, help them with their journey through the crypto ecosystem.
And then you did just touch on this a little bit, but I mean, given the volatility that we are seeing in crypto markets, firsthand on the Netcoins platform, what are you guys experiencing?
Yeah, I did touch on it. We're just definitely seeing, more selling some days than buying. Historically, Netcoins has been a buy-side platform. People tend to buy and hodl, as they say, and put their coins away. But, some of the bigger volatility days lately, we've seen in the morning that the sell side is heavy and there's a lot more sellers than buyers. And interestingly enough, as the day goes on and people think the bottom is in for that day or that pullback, then the buyers come in and in the second half of the day, we'll see very heavy buying and not a lot of selling. So for us, it's great. Buying and selling, again, we're built on volatility and action in the market. But yeah, we're seeing some changes from a historical buying market to a buying and selling market. And as I mentioned, either way, the price of the underlying assets don't materially matter to us as long as there's action and volatility in the market, people come and buy and sell.
And then I had a question on TerraZero too. So I know, this newer investment, and it's an investment that you personally are really excited about. And we've seen reports from Citi, and they've come out saying, they're projecting the metaverse to be anywhere from $8 to $13 trillion, market by 2030. And then we're also starting to see a lot of news of more companies starting to participate and getting involved. So what do you think it's going to take, for investors to really understand the potential here and start attributing value, to TerraZero and the metaverse in general?
Yeah, I think it's about revenue is a big part of it, right? As they start seeing these companies generating revenue and reporting it, they'll understand that there's a market opportunity. When we set up Netcoins, you had to wire money to out of country, maybe to Japan to buy Bitcoin, or people were meeting up at corner stores and exchanging cash for, paper wallets and things. It was bleeding edge. And if you want to make significant money in a market, you need to be early and have conviction, and you're maybe there before people understand it. And we really believe that the consumer engagement with brands is going to go from, what was Web 1.0, which was pushing a message, to Web 2.0, which is more like Facebook and Instagram and websites that did e-commerce, to Web 3.0, where it's more experiential, right? You're in there, maybe you walk into, again, a Nike store inside of the metaverse and you see a digital pair of shoes, and you either buy those digital shoes and put them on your avatar, or you buy them, and it's called v-commerce or virtual commerce, where you buy them and they actually show up at your house, the real shoes, and then you wear them in real world, but you bought them inside of the metaverse. As investors see the revenue streams starting to come for the brands that are in the metaverse, and also for the companies that are enabling all of that through land and leasing and building out the stores and the experiences like TerraZero, you're going to see a significant understanding of the value, and value will start to be attributed. So we already see it. As I said, TerraZero well into revenue. We'll be able to start reporting their revenue, including them in our financials as we go forward. And then the market investor will understand, there's something real to this. And all the studies have been done, and you can see it in all the numbers of people going into the metaverse and the market growing. And it'll probably go through growing pains. Nothing will be, straight up. But, we believe that that's a future of the intersection between brands and consumers, and having a business that's sitting right in the middle of that, monetizing it, is a perfect place for us as a digital assets company, because the metaverse is all built around essentially digital assets.
No, that's great. So when should we start expecting to see their revenues in your financials?
Either Q1 or Q2 of this year. The auditors have to weigh in on when it is appropriate to be including them. But, as I said, they're into revenue either way, and we have the ownership stake.
And then Obviously Big Digital is extremely well capitalized. And so given where Bitcoin prices are right now, are you guys looking to add more Bitcoin to your treasury?
Yeah, I think we're really happy with our Bitcoin position. We recently added, sitting at 575 Bitcoin. I'd have to check today's market. It's probably worth 20 million bucks. It's a good chunk, and we'll keep the rest in cash. But we really believe in the balance, right? We could stay all in cash, but if we'd taken that strategy from 2 and 3 years ago, we wouldn't be in the healthy position we are in because we've done very well on our investments. So we're maintaining a balance, and right now we're happy with our position, but that can change on a day-to-day basis. If there's more pullbacks, we may take more advantage of the market.
Okay, last question. So, the stock market is obviously extremely volatile these days. So is crypto. What is your approach to this volatility at BIGG?
Steady hand. I've always said that businesses are built in bear markets, and rewards are often reaped in bull markets, and that's when value gets attributed. But in these volatile times, steady hand, work on our businesses, continue to roll out products, roll out features, support our customers, and do all the right things. When you're out of favor, that's okay. That's when you can actually take market share. That's the other piece of it. I believe we're actually gaining market share in our businesses right now because we're doing a great job. We're supporting our customers. We're advancing features. And if people are leaving the market, if they leave other competing platforms faster than they leave us, we'll have a larger market share in a slightly contracted market. But then when it grows, we have more market share, and we will reap the rewards from that, both from a revenue point of view and a valuation point of view. And it's also keeping a steady hand on our, treasury, making sure that we're healthy and well capitalized, which we are. It's continue to operate business as usual, build the businesses, and as the market turns, we'll be rewarded.
Okay, well, I won't take up any more of your time, but we always do appreciate you jumping on and giving us an update. So thanks again for the presentation. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Victoria.